Hi, I hope you're well. It's the 26th of September. It's about midday and yeah, I've had a really good morning. Well, as you can see, I have done my hair, even though my short hair at the moment is absolutely shitting me off. I really just wanted to grow already. I don't know, I've been happy with short hair for ages, but the last couple of weeks I've just been like, okay, I'm sick of it. I think it's because it's so annoying when I tie it up for the gym. Anyway, yeah, so it's about midday. This morning I went to the gym at 5:45, so I woke up at about 5:15, did my gym workout. Wow, I look so red. Did my gym workout and then came home. What did I do after that? After that I had breakfast. I read for 30 minutes. I read the Ask Gary Vee book, which is my current book at the moment because I finished The Alchemist last week and I got the big order of books from Book Depository. So if you haven't already checked out that vlog and you want to know what I have on my book wish list, because I basically ordered my wish list, check that out. I will link it below. So yeah, so I did that, and then for half an hour I did a few things from Self-Coaching Scholars, which is Brooke Castillo's online coaching program, which I enrolled in last week. Oh, this sunscreen actually smells so good. It's the Mecca Cosmetica 50 plus sunscreen that I just like wearing under my makeup every day because I'm trying to look after my skin. And yeah, so did that for half an hour, and that's kind of my personal development morning routine at the moment. I do 30 minutes of reading and then 30 minutes of working on that course. I'm still trying to figure out a proper routine. Been feeling really scattered lately in terms of routine. Yeah. Oh, is this the right foundation? So yeah, I don't know. I can't figure out exactly why. I think it's because I'm just starting so many new things and have a lot of new processes to learn, and I haven't known how long things will take. Oh, I need to wear my beauty blender. I'm going to try it without it being wet. I can't actually find my normal makeup brush, which is why I'm using this. And it's actually a bit dry. Oh, I found some water. Let's see if this will work. Probably shouldn't do that on the carpet. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. And so the new things I've got on this vlog is still pretty new. This is day, what would it be, 25 I think, since it's the 26th. And I mean, it's the 26th of September and I started on the 2nd, so this should be number 25. So it's still quite new and I'm still figuring out how to time all the uploading. Sorry, the light's changing heaps today, by the way. Just a half cloudy day. I'm still figuring out like when to upload them, how to batch it all together. I'm doing like a week at once and like sitting down, uploading them to YouTube, writing out all the descriptions and all of that. But I'm still figuring out when the best time to do it is, and also how to improve my thumbnails, because like this is the beauty of just starting. As soon as you have an idea, you can iterate and it's easier, I find, to iterate than to plan something good from the beginning. So in the beginning I just wanted to see if this idea is something I'd be interested in, so I just started. But I feel like my thumbnails, which are important for YouTube marketing, if you don't know much about YouTube, we all click things based on whether they're pretty or interesting, essentially. And I feel like mine for the vlogs could be a lot better. So I want to figure out how to do that, but how to do it in a time-effective way so that this daily vlog doesn't become a colossal, overwhelming commitment. So I'm still thinking about that. I also have my new podcast. I have recorded the first episode, but tomorrow I'm going to do it. I think, actually no, I'm going to do it this afternoon. I'm still trying to figure out how, or learn how to upload it all to YouTube. No, not to YouTube, to iTunes, and to do all of that and to make it, to make it searchable and all of that kind of thing. So I'm learning that. I'm also wanting to just put the audio of these into podcast episodes. They won't be actual podcast episodes, but they'll be available on the podcast, just because I know some of you guys tell me you listen to this stuff and it'd be easy for you to have it available in podcasts, and I totally get it, because a lot of my favorite YouTube channels, I'm like, I wish I could just listen to your audio, like the ones that speak, obviously not makeup tutorials and stuff, but the ones that are just really chatty. So I'm going to do that, but I need to figure out how to do that. I want to record some new podcast episodes and figure out the format for that. Blog post writing and newsletter, weekly email writing. I've done that enough times to have a good idea of the process, but I'm still working on making that as efficient as possible. I wanted to grow my business as well and make money. So figuring out how to do that. There's just a lot of stuff I'm figuring out, and so I feel like I'm not in a routine, which is fine. Like, I'm telling myself it's fine and that I'm just playing around with things, but it is also uncomfortable just not really knowing exactly what I'm doing. So that's where I'm at the moment. I did some planning this morning. That's what I want to talk about today, my planning process. And I kind of struggle with it today. So as you can see, I've taken down some of the things I had on the wall before because I just wasn't using them. So what I did, I like using iCal, but I also want something physical. So what I'm experimenting with at the moment is a diary, like a weekly diary, and then also using iCal. So this is a diary I have from Kiki K. It's a financial year diary. At some point I got caught on financial year diaries and then found it hard to transition back, but I'm going to do that. But this diary finished in September and I hadn't used it for ages, like months and months and months. I was like, oh, I really want to get a new diary, but I know myself and I know that often, like, I want to get a new diary because it's so exciting, but then I don't actually use it. So I was like, well, I've got a diary here with all the days. The only thing that's wrong is the month and the date. So I decided that I would make the most of what I already have, and I'm starting in January because I haven't used this since January. I've written September. Oh, yeah, it's still September. It's like, is it October? I've written September, and I've just, I don't know if you can see, I've just crossed out the date and written the date it actually is. So today is Tuesday the 26th, not Tuesday the 24th. So I thought I would do that just to not give in to my impulse to just go out and buy a new diary, because that's really exciting. Also, there aren't that many great diaries at the moment because it is September. So the financial year diaries from July to June are basically gone, and there will be new diaries out for 2018, but they won't have started yet. So it's a bit of an awkward period to decide to buy a diary. I feel like I'm saying durry. If you're not Australian, you probably won't know what it means. It's a cigarette. Anyway, diary. So I decided to do that, and I feel proud of myself that I'm using something I already have instead of going out and buying a new one. And I've just done that so many times and not used it that I'm like, okay, well, if I can use this one and get into a habit, then by the time the new year comes, I can buy myself a new pretty one then and be on the normal diary track instead of the financial year ones. Oh my god, my hair is so annoying. So what I did was I have my action list that Kit and I create every Thursday during my coaching session. So this isn't what it looked like. So I rewrote it out here and sort of grouped it together, like podcast, these daily vlogs, Instagram, revenue, and my blog and newsletter, like the tasks I wanted to complete this week. And honestly, when I wrote that all down, I felt a bit overwhelmed because there are so many things. And this is why it's so important to put it into a calendar, because if I just work on crossing off that list, I'm gonna keep feeling overwhelmed because I'm constantly looking at like how much there is left to do and whether I'm gonna have enough time. But if I put it into my calendar, I can focus just on the task in front of me and not be in overwhelm. And overwhelm, like, I'm not productive when I'm overwhelmed, and I procrastinate and I end up doing less. So I don't want to be in that place for any time at all if I can help it. And I'm getting a lot better at pulling myself out of it really quick. I feel like I want to fake tan again because I just I'm not having a bad week. I'm just struggling with what I look like this week. Anyway, so yeah, I wrote all that out, felt really overwhelmed, and then started to put it into my calendar. But when I was doing that, I really struggled, and this is what I need to do more work on this afternoon. I really struggled to actually prioritize what to do, because to put it into my calendar, I have to basically have prioritized it, because essentially it's unlikely that all of them will fit, or if all of them fit, I do need to be very productive. And I want to make sure the most important things get done first. I don't want to just attack this list from any angle and end up doing the things that are less important, if that makes sense. So I struggled a bit with that. I decided that my priority are these videos. I committed to getting one up every single day, and I also want to be effective with my time. So I don't want to have to do this stuff besides filming every day. I don't want to have to spend time uploading and writing descriptions and creating thumbnails and all of that every single day. I ideally want to do it one day per week. At the moment, that's been Tuesday because that's just when it fell. But I'm wanting to do it, I think, on Saturday, because when I do it on Tuesday, it kind of eats up that whole day. And then, I don't know, I just think it'll be better on a Saturday afternoon. I don't need a lot of mental energy to do it. So I'm going to leave it till later in the day, because I like to reserve the morning for more creative tasks, because as the day goes on, I find it harder and harder to be creative. So I have that, and I'm thinking, today this morning, I worked on preparing all the videos till Saturday. So from Wednesday to Saturday, and then from Saturday, I'm going to do 7, and then I'll be a few ahead, and yeah, in my head, that seems to work out. Not really. I don't know, but I'm going to do it on Saturdays. And then my other priority is my podcast, but because I'm not sure how long it'll take, I think that's part of the reason I'm letting myself feel overwhelmed, because I'm like, I'm not sure how long it'll take. I'm not sure how long I will need. So I'm going to do that this afternoon. And the key is just to really not let that overwhelm let me procrastinate, because I don't know, if I feel overwhelmed and I start doubting whether I can do everything, that it kind of like clicks into that all or nothing, and I just end up like doing nothing because I'm like, oh, I won't be able to get everything done and all of that kind of thing, which is not a good place to operate from. So I was putting things into my calendar and put a few things in and kind of mapped out what time I'd like to do these videos every day. Ideally like at 9 a.m. after I've done the gym and I've read my book and done some self-coaching stuff, just so that I'm ready to do it. And I find that if I don't allocate a time, it's like with anything, like if you don't allocate a time to go to the gym, you spend a lot of time thinking about when should I go instead of just planning and doing. So I'm planning to do it at 9 a.m, which will also be good because then it'll be 24 hours between each. Obviously some days I'll have stuff on and I won't do it then, but just trying to set up some kind of schedule, and at least then I can figure out the lighting, because I feel like every time I do this at a different time, and like it's so good for learning. And this whole first month of 365 days of personal growth is really so much learning, and it's been really, really good. But I just feel like it's really hard to keep having to figure out the new lighting for every single time, and like I want these. I know they don't need to be super high quality, but I would like them to be good quality. So I scheduled that in. I'm just looking at my list. Also, I want to record another podcast episode. So in my mind, I was like, when am I going to fit that in? And I'm thinking of recording them while and filming them so that I can put them up on YouTube for people who like YouTube, and I can put them on the podcast for people who like podcasts. And it won't be a normal YouTube video, it'll just be like a video of me doing the podcast, and I've decided to do my podcast without editing. So it's just gonna be me talking into a microphone, kind of the same, I guess. I haven't figured out exactly how, there's just a lot of unknowns, and yeah, that's what's in the back of my mind, so I'm doing my best to eliminate them. Instagram, I want to post 3 times a day, and it takes about 30 minutes to write the captions for 3 posts, because I like to write long captions and I like them to be almost like mini blog posts, or most of them. So working on figuring out how much time that will take. Yeah, so there's a few different things I want to do, and it's also a long weekend this coming weekend, and I'm in my head like, should I dedicate that to work, or should I do some fun things, or both, because I really still want to keep working on my business. And yeah, I don't know, so I haven't figured out yet what I'm doing this weekend and how much time I'm going to spend on my business and all of that. So anyway, I just feel like there's so many unknowns, and I kind of got stuck with the planning, which is why I'm going to have to keep doing it this weekend, because I actually didn't schedule a time for most of these things. And the thing with planning is that, like, in my mind, so I'm not making a plan because I don't want to disappoint myself, and it sucks to make plans and not follow them. And I've done it a lot of times in the past, but I'm going to make a much better plan ahead of time than I am in the moment, because I'm going to be a lot more intentional, a lot more thoughtful. I'm going to have my priorities in mind. I'm going to be doing that with my energy in mind as well, knowing that the first few hours are the best, and from then on, my mental energy is decreasing and all of that kind of thing. So the problem with not planning out, like prioritizing and allotting it into a calendar, into blocks of time, is that it's really hard to make good plans in the moment, and we think we'll be able to make better plans spontaneously, and maybe we will once we've gotten so good at doing this kind of planning that we just know how we work. But I know that I make a better plan ahead of time because I'm not thinking about what I feel like. I'm thinking about what the business needs, what I need, and all of that kind of thing. So I'm going to spend another 20 minutes this afternoon working on my plans and actually forcing myself to calendar in everything, because that's why I'm feeling overwhelmed. Once it's in a calendar, I've decided my priorities, I've decided what I'm going to do, and then all I need to do is actually follow it. So that's what I'm working on at the moment. It is a skill that I'm still learning, and I really just want to make sure that when I'm making plans, they're plans that I'm going to follow. So I think that's part of the reason I've been hesitant to make them, but then by not doing that, I'm setting myself up to fail, because I'm just not going to be as intentional or as productive if I'm just in the moment, and also because I find myself switching between tasks way more often than is productive and effective. And yeah, so anyway, that's what I'm working on at the moment. And yeah, I hope you're still enjoying these videos, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!